Hello, thank you for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video. I am working on a film, Tell Me Your Story, that is based on an original screenplay that I wrote. I plan to film it and to have a screening at the end of 2023. Now, I've talked about this an awful lot, and of course I love talking about my favorite films. Now I wanted to share with you a list of some of my favorite films for a specific reason, for their cleverness and how they were able to get by with very little money. So, low-budget filmmaking ideas. Thanks for watching. For those of you who haven't seen the 1990s film Clerks, it's basically about a couple of guys who work at a roadside grocery store and have a lot of attitude. The film sells itself on its clever dialogue and its enjoyable characters. But there were a lot of little invisible things they did to make that film work, such as the film started with the main character realizing that somebody had put gum in the shutters, so the whole film, the windows are closed. That was a practical choice, so that they could film a day or night with the same interior lights and not have to worry about the outside light. It worked perfectly into the story, and they made consistent references to it to make it funny, but it was done entirely because they didn't have money to secure the location when they needed to, or to get external lights. That's clever. One of my favorite films is 1968's Night of the Living Dead. It's absolutely astounding what that film was able to achieve with so little to work with. If you get a chance to watch it again, and I probably should have done this in October so you could have had the Halloween spirit to talk about this, but that film has only a few locations, fewer than 5, and it gives you the impression, the feeling of a nationwide apocalypse, a revolution. It's amazing the scale of that film as compared to what they actually had to work with. I'm a child of the 80s, so of course I grew up with The Breakfast Club and loved it. I recently had a choice to show it to my wife who hadn't seen it before, and she also loved it. While I was watching, something really stuck out to me. About 95% of that film takes place in one room. There's very little camera work, there's very little movement, there's very little exciting elements that we tend to expect out of films. But that film stays entertaining and intriguing through its entire runtime. It's amazing with how much tension and interest the director and the actors were able to pull out of just sitting there. In the early 90s, Richard Linklater did the film Slacker. It is a film as unconventional as any you could imagine. The film follows one person through one scene, then follows a different person to another scene, and then does that through its entire length. No one person taking up more than 2 scenes and always just jumping to somebody else. Its unconventional nature kept it interesting for a complete feature runtime. It's very difficult to be experimental in a feature, but it absolutely does it. When a film is inventive, when it is really off the rails, it's fascinating to watch to see just how far they can take it. My last example is a little self-indulgent. When working on a film in the Philippines, there was one night when we were doing a dance number and a whole lot of dancers had to be coordinated, there was a lot happening and it was slow. I grabbed the lead actor, pulled him out to a nearby street and shot a scene. I got the chance to do one take and it was just the actor walking down a street with natural lighting entirely. I didn't have a sound guy, I didn't have anything else. And that one shot, the full 30 seconds of that scene is in the final film and was never bothered. No one ever complained about it. Sometimes filmmaking can be that simple as just taking the camera, shoot them, you're done. So sometimes it is more difficult. Other times we make it more difficult. The important thing is to know which is which. Thank you so much for watching. I love movies. I'm excited to make a movie. I love indie films and all the creativity that they have to use, and I look forward to using my own. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video.